The principle of cooling, you have a fan up there.
Yeah.
And you have a hole between the fridge and the freezer.
Yeah.
The warm air is pulled from the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And the freezer pushes it across the coils.
Yeah.
And blows it out. You have a damper opening up top. So imagine a circle.
Oh, okay.
And as the temperatures over here is reached, because it's constantly being pulled across the coils,
right.
When warm air is passed across the coil, the heat is attracted and it traps onto the evaporator, leaving the moisture, and all you're left with is a cold air pumping. And that is continue all day until, so what happens when the system is no longer able to melt the ice, you got a heater here, and that heater actually comes on when the fridge tells it to, melts the ice, literally gets hot like a small oven, melts the ice, keeps everything nice and good. When that fails, then that's the effect. It could be a board, not just a heater or thermistors, but that's normally is the culprit is that guy there. Yeah, when you get a chance, you need to get a vacuum back here. This is really, really bad. This is, yeah, you don't want this to look like this. You see how you had openings? And now everything was closed off. So this poor fridge was dying almost. So, yeah, you can get that after I'm done. Yeah, at least that's better right there. But yeah, we're going to take the screw. I'll take all the screws off for you, so you can do the vacuuming. Nothing close. Thank God. Plug back in. Wow, nice and clean. Yeah. You're a master. What was your previous profession?
Construction project manager.
Yeah, so you check people's work, make sure that looks wow. I like. Very nice. Now, if you have a small air compressor, would be beautiful for you to just blow this. I mean, this thing is you're about 10% clean. This is about 90% still. So if you have a vacuum, you can flip and turn into a blower type deal and blow a lot of stuff still in here. I don't have all my equipment for my van's actually in the shop, but I don't normally. This cleaning is normally extra, anyways.
Sure. Let me see what I can do with it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to put it back together dirty. Might as well give it a new, fresh, start.
So what is it that he said we needed, honey?
He said compressor, but we got to compress it down.
No, yeah, air compressor. Yeah, yeah.
This is, maybe we can just buy us.
Can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Inside the refrigerator, I have a meter, test meter. Tell me what it says on there, if you don't mind.
Get your glasses?
I do got my glasses on. Okay, what does it say? It says 40.
40.
Now 39. Now 48. Now 40.
Does it go to 120?
It went 122.1.
Beautiful. All right, now you can clean.
Okay.
Nice. Nothing like a third eye, Oh yeah, you still got water in there. You want to put a towel back there?
I'm using paper towels.
Okay. Yeah, I got 2 in here. And so this is the thermistor. Now, there is a certain way to actually install these. You might think you just pop it in, but the correct way is, you will see it shortly, once you attach it to the evaporator, you want to loop down the wire. And the reason for that loop, you want to mitigate any moisture from traveling into the thermistor. So that's the way it should be. That loop, and then it goes up, protecting the sensor from any future damage. All right, so we're going to be replacing the heater. We just verified that we have power from the board. Now, I just noticed I did not have the exact heater. That's a 12-inch. So GE, there are 2 kinds. There are 9-inch and 12-inch. So what I'm going to do is, I do have another heater which is the same as that, but the housing is not the same. So I'm going to fix this housing just to get the customer up and running, and we're going to replace the actual element, that metal, or I should say glass, piece. It's in the center, and we're going to put a new heater inside, and we're going to basically reuse the old housing. I'll make it work, it will work, and it's just fine. Normally I wouldn't do that, but it's a new heater, and I will touch base with the customer in the event of any potential issue, but there should not be any issue with it. The housing is not too bad. So I'm just showing you, just in case if you're a tech and you do run into this, you can still get the customer up and running. So follow along and you'll see. All right, guys, so now we're going to be installing the heater. Now, you're going to have 2 connectors. Make sure that when you plug them in, that they are fully secured and seated. Meaning, if you tug on it slightly and you notice that it's not tight, what you want to do, you want to remove it and tighten it. You want to get a channel lock or pliers, and you want to squeeze the end off the connector. So once it's inserted into the heater body, you want to make sure it's tight. You should not be able to easily remove it. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. The heater is going to fail and the refrigerator is not going to work properly. You're going to have icing up issues and you might even have wires burning. So connections, any electrical connections, they must be tight. They have to be. So keep that in mind. In this instance, that was the issue. If you notice, I tightened it up. And also on your evaporator, make sure that you check all the ice. A lot of times you'll do the defrosting and from the outside, looking at it, everything looks nice and melted, but you still have a layer of ice in the back. So make sure you get everything. Otherwise, it could freeze up and take the heater longer to actually get rid of the excess frosting. So, things to keep in mind. So, once the heater is in, you're going to have 2 Phillips screws. Make sure you secure them properly and route the harness. It's a pink and blue wire, if I'm not mistaken. Route it, tuck them behind the evaporator. Make sure you get it on the side. You don't want to get the cover sitting on that. That's carrying electricity. And over time, you will have vibration. So make sure you tuck the wires to the side. And that's pretty straightforward from there on. All we're going to be doing now is putting the cover on. And before you put the cover on, if you have anything blocking your drain tube, go ahead and remove it so that your drain hole will be free. All right. And go ahead and do your cleanup and you should be good to go. Enjoy the rest of the video. Also, guys, that is a thermostat. It is not a bimetal. It's a safety thermostat. In the event that the board is not controlling the heater, it will turn off. That's all that is. So they rarely ever go bad. All right, one more quick tip here. Now, the evaporator cover, in the event that the holes are not lining up, be super careful with this. Now, you can use a pick just to get the holes aligned so that you're able to insert your screws. Now, a good practice, use a manual nut driver to insert the screws. Just in the event that you slip, you could do some damage. So I'm a big fan of using manual. I do use my impact, but I'm very careful as I'm doing so. How nice it looks.
Yeah.
Look at that. Very good. I think you might have missed a little bit on the top here. Remember what I told you? You have to go deep. Yeah.
So
I
what do we
hate.
need?
I hate to. Let me see. Let me see how it looks.
Um,
Oh, not too bad. Let me see the vacuum. Let me just hit it real quick for you. Yeah. You have a smaller nozzle? Or no? No, that's not a problem. In my tool bag, I have a brush. It's a small brush. Or if you have a small old toothbrush, All right, guys, so we're wrapping up. All you have left now is to put your screws in the back. Make sure that everything is nice and clean. Now, keep this in mind, your board cover, which is right here up top. Once you put the cover on, you can choose to leave the screws half on, and that will give your board a little bit of cooled air so the board does not overheat. All right, just a little pointer. All right, so we're done. Thanks for watching.